Can you imagine a world where everything you have is all you've ever known? Let's wander into this realm of thought for a moment as we introduce two characters, each leading remarkably different lives. First, think of a man we'll call John. Now, John's life is as lavish as they come. He wakes up each morning in a king-sized bed, nestled in the heart of a grand mansion. His breakfast is a spread fit for royalty, served on silver platters by his dedicated house staff. His days are filled with the leisure of choice, from golfing on exclusive greens to sailing on crystal-clear waters. To John, luxury isn't an aspiration, it's a given. It's all he's ever known. On the other side, we have another man, a man named Mark. Mark's life is the polar opposite. He wakes up each dawn on a worn-out mattress in a cramped room he shares with his family. His breakfast, if he's lucky, is a piece of stale bread. His days are spent in laborious toil, working under the unforgiving sun just to put food on the table. For Mark, luxury is a dream that feels too distant to even imagine. Two men, two lives, each a world apart. John, who knows nothing of struggle, and Mark, who knows nothing else. Now imagine for a moment these two lives intersecting. What if they were to cross paths? What if John, in all his affluence, were to meet Mark, in all his destitution? It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? Two worlds colliding, two experiences so vastly different. It's a stark contrast, a stark reality. And it raises a profound question, a question about human nature, about compassion, about empathy. In this world of contrast, would you share if you have with someone who doesn't? When two worlds collide, what happens? Let's delve into this, shall we? In our tale, these two worlds are embodied by our characters, the one who has everything and the one who has nothing. Their paths cross in an unexpected twist of fate, a serendipitous intersection of two lives on opposite ends of the spectrum. Imagine the one who has everything, strolling down the streets of affluence, basking in the glow of his own prosperity. Suddenly the gleaming edifice of his world is shattered as he stumbles upon the stark reality of the one who has nothing. In that moment, he witnesses the struggles that were previously unknown to him, the struggle to find a warm meal, the struggle to find a secure shelter, the struggle to simply survive. The world of the one who has nothing is a stark contrast to his own. It's a world where every day is a battle, every night a test of endurance. The one who has everything is taken aback. He's overwhelmed by a wave of emotions: shock, guilt, sympathy, and perhaps a tinge of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the harsh reality that he's been shielded from all along. His world has been shaken, his perspective forever altered. On the other side, the one who has nothing watches him. He sees the confusion, the shock, the fear. He sees the realization dawn upon the other's face. He sees the discomfort, the struggle to comprehend this new reality. And perhaps he feels a spark of hope. Hope that his struggles are not invisible. Hope that someone might finally understand. Our characters stand at the intersection of their worlds, each one peering into the other's reality for the first time. They're confronted with the stark disparities between their lives, the glaring divide that separates them. When faced with stark disparities, do we turn a blind eye or extend a helping hand? That's a question for another scene, but for now let's ponder on the power of intersections, the potential they hold for change, understanding, and empathy. What does it mean to give when you have? The question hangs in the air, heavy as the clouds before a storm. What does it mean indeed? For the one who has everything, this question is not just a philosophical musing, but a crossroads. A moment of reckoning where he must decide whether to extend a hand to the one who has nothing. Imagine standing on a precipice, the wind whispering tales of fear and courage, of loss and gain. To give is to lose something you own, yes, but it's also to gain something intangible, a sense of purpose perhaps, or the joy of making a difference. But there's a flip side to this coin, a shadow that lurks behind the golden glow of altruism. It's the fear of depletion, the anxiety of becoming the one who has nothing. Our character grapples with these thoughts, wrestling with his own fears and desires. He weighs the scales in his mind, the gleaming gold of his wealth on one side and the ethereal glow of altruism on the other. He understands that this decision, once made, will irrevocably alter the course of not one but two lives, his and the one he could potentially help. The consequences of his decision are not just material, they are deeply personal, etching themselves into the fabric of his soul. To give is to change, to step out of the comfort of the known into the uncertainty of the unknown. It's a journey that requires a kind of courage that's as rare as it is powerful. The courage to give, not just from the surplus, but from the essence of who you are. So he stands at this crossroads, the weight of his decision pressing down on him. He understands that this is not just about transferring wealth or resources. This is about bridging a gap, about building a connection that goes beyond the physical. Is giving just about parting with something you own? Or is it more about bridging the gap between two lives? Every action echoes in eternity. What does the echo of giving sound like? Let's ponder on this. The one who had everything chose to share their abundance with the one who had nothing. This act of giving was like a ripple in a pond, creating a profound impact that altered their existences. For the one who had, the act of giving was transformative. Their perspective shifted, realizing that their wealth was more than just material possessions. They discovered a new sense of fulfillment, an understanding of the power of empathy, and a deeper connection to humanity. For the one who had not, the gift was a lifeline. It was an act of kindness that sparked hope, a beacon that illuminated the path out of the darkness. Their life was no longer defined by scarcity, but by the potential of what could be. We've journeyed through the lives of two distinct individuals. Now it's your turn to reflect. If you have, would you give to one who doesn't? Ponder on this, share your thoughts, and let's open a dialogue about the disparity between lives and our role in bridging this gap.